Facebook here. YouTube's good at that. Seems to be alright there. I don't know.
Good evening, all. Thank you for staying dry and tuning in to the first live stream of 2026 and the league campaign that begins tonight here in Blacktown. My name, and for the 6th consecutive year, is Mark Topoli. Thank you so much for tuning in to the BDSFA Match of the Round, which of course has to start at this perfect precinct, Blacktown Football Park, 100 metres up Eastern Road as Dooney becomes Rooty Hill. Funnily enough, it is Doonside playing here tonight against their age-old rivals, Quakers Hill Juniors. A tale of two different teams in the context of their respective last campaigns. Lots to learn, lots to talk about, lots of special guests to introduce. First and foremost, though, once again, my name is Mark, and thank you for being here as the two teams walk out for what is a very special occasion, not just because it's the first round of the season, but because today is the annual Ryan Dimmick Memorial Cup. A boy that was taken far too young from us, from circumstances out of his control. It was a tragedy that struck the BDSFA down now more than half a decade ago when young Ryan Dimmick passed. And every year, the two clubs which knew him best, the two clubs where he represented and had friends laden throughout at the time and still continuing into today, all these years later, honour and stop for a moment to remember what he represented. So that we will observe now. If you could please join us in the minute's silence. Many a people upstanding in honour of young Ryan Dimmick. Gone, but certainly never forgotten. Today's a day where we honour him. As we switch over to the football aspect of what we are all here for, after, of course, honouring an old friend, we talk about what is a great rivalry and one that has existed for decades within the 50-year-plus history of Blacktown, or nearly 50-year history of Blacktown football, I should say. Quakers Hill Juniors, historic team. Doonside, equally as historic. Both have won club championships throughout the years. Both have made incredible storylines, forged amazing stories to tell your kids as you grow up one day in terms of their grand final wins. And today they meet in round one. Today is also, as you can see by the balloons out in the middle, and again as we honour Ryan Dimmick. Those balloons are for captain of Doonside, Jaden Zorob's 150th senior Doonside appearance. I believe we will actually observe now a second minutes of silence. As such, we will go through in a moment. But thanks once again for being here, and please do tune in for the other minute silence, which we'll observe now. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. As a round of applause rings about Blacktown Football Park. Thank you to the parents of Ryan Dimmick, who are oh so brave in raising his children, presenting both clubs with flowers and receiving the reciprocate as well. A really fantastic tradition, a long may it continue throughout generations. Once again, my name is Mark Capoli, and I'll switch over to the football side of things now. So today is also the 150th game of club captain Jaden Zwerb of Doonside in terms of his senior appearances. This is his 20th year at the club. With the mathematics which you look back at the life of the last year, in memory of Ryan forever now. For Quakers Hill Juniors, they actually are the holding champions of the Ryan Dimmick Memorial Cup. Doonside won the previous 5 iterations prior to that. But after, of course, Doonside went on to win the championship last year, it was in fact Quakers Hill Juniors in that very first round of the season some 12 months ago, almost to the day, where they took that off Doonside. Could they do it again potentially? Doonside again crowned champions off the back of another incredible season. Let's go through the lineups. We'll start with the champions. Not too much to talk about in terms of changes. Matt Dudgeon, of course, retains his spot in goal. It's a new look back four. This is where most of the talk has happened in the off-season. Liam Howard and Jaden Zwerb, as mentioned, will be ones that remain. But replacing Jake Taylor and Jordan Hannon will be Al Gassim Bunda, who makes his first match of the round start, and Paolo Laxamana, who some BSFA fans will already be aware of from his time at separate clubs, but most importantly, Marconi's 20s first training experience, as well as Nepean back in their League 2 days. He wears the 17 jersey as the right back. Diego Canovo makes his first start of 2026, one in first grade, which is fantastic. Nick Cauchi, Alessi, and 9-goal, 8-assist Marcus Correa round out a four-man midfield. And up top, the 2 grand final goal scorers, Ethan Eichen and Byron Grandamange. For what is technically the visiting side, Quakers Hill Juniors, Matthew Gabriel is something of a, how do we say this, a fill-in goalkeeper. But he's someone who's decided to take on the mantle of being the goalkeeper for the entire season. Back in 2018, he won a reserve grade finals series penalty shootout on his own. In front of him is a back three, 2 of which are returning for the first time back here today in Todd Milgate and Chris Flismas, who also won, of course, Premier League Grand Finals back in 2018. Connor May, who was a one-time reserve grade Golden Boot winner with 18 goals some nearly one full decade ago, is also at the back in that back three system. It's Mitch Tritton and Gatsby Gray, 2 players who were actually here last year at the base of a midfield. That also includes a man making his starting debut up from 21s, a long-time servant of Quakers Hill Juniors in Jai Kendall in the 38 jersey. Congratulations to you, young man. And off to the right, it's a man towards the other end of his career. It's Ghulam Sarawi in the number 9 jersey, looking for his first grade goal, perhaps, as this right wing up / right mid / right wing back. We'll see how that plays out in what would be 5 years. Argar Mawan was on the podcast earlier this week. He starts at number 8 jersey in what is the number 10 role. And 2 players who also were here last year, Aidan Hughes. This is his 19th year as he turns 24 years old this year, but 19th year serving in green, his one and only club. Actually, forgive me, 1 year spent at Marriott, I should say. But other than that, it's one hit only club. And Zane Owen was one of their top goal scorers last year for the Quakers Hill Juniors with 4 goals to his name. That is how these 2 teams line up. Once again, thanks so much for joining us. Sorry it took so long to get through that, but there was a quick start after the stoppages, and Aidan Hughes has a chance to look for his second ever match in the goal. He looks to palm it off to Zane Owen, and a first clearance there by Bundu, which is really well done out the back by the brand new Doonside stand-in centre-back. That ball's gone through towards Ethan Eichen. It was blocked off, and a first touch for Chris Flismas, who sends that ball forward, and Paolo Laxamana should have no troubles, the 25-year-old, seeing that one go out. They're very fast, 90 seconds in this one. It's been raining and pouring all day prior to these matches. The 21s game was cancelled after 27 minutes, and then the reserve graders never got onto the pitch at all as Gatsby Gray picks this ball up and gets past the referee with ease, as well as Nick Cauchi. This is Connor May. No Luca Gallo. No Sol Surgeon. Lots of changes for Quakers Hill Juniors as Todd Milgate, who spent some time at Hawkesbury City but recovering from an ACL tear as well in the process there, sends that ball forward towards Aidan Hughes, and he was blocked off by a man who certainly is feeling this fixture for a multitude of reasons. 150 for him, but of course always remembering the loss of his best mate in Ryan Dimmick. This is the Memorial Cup for Ryan Dimmick, of course. The Jadens were involved up there with Quakers striker Aidan Hughes. and beating him physically there and was first to the ball. Byron Grandamage, last time he played on this pitch, he had a grand final goal to his name. He goes back to his new centre-back, who I could also reveal is coming off the back of a month of fasting through Ramadan, so Eid Mubarak to those who observe one of a month of fasting, and to those who have been able to have full amounts of nutrition heading into their BBFA seasons. Well, lucky you guys, that's pretty good timing indeed. Al-Ghassim being one of them. Looks like he's occupying the left centre-back role is Al-Ghassim Mundu, who's also got some striping around that right knee, as he simply finds this off to Liam Howard, who let that slip between his legs, but he's going to use that darting pace forward, and here comes Matty Gabriel, the sweeper keeper, and he sends it to Anne Aquilina reserve. Well, that was really well read by a man who we know is an outfielder, but is this year going to occupy between the sticks. And 3 minutes and 30 seconds into his match of the round debut with gloves on, he's able to send one past Byron Grandamage and far away, sending either Josh or Alex on a nice old run. This is picked up here by Nick Couchy, who picked up his maiden match of the round goal against Riverstone, his old club last year. Couchy again tries to flick it over the three-man Quakers defence. Grandamage trying to pivot and turn on a dime. Gatsby Gray eventually got a block off, and it should be cleared here by Connor May. It's Couchy in a pretty lofty area who picks it back up and sends it back out wide to Laksamana, sliding in ferociously. He keeps it in. No, he doesn't, says the sideline referee Brendan O'Shea, 17 years old. Is our sideline referee here on the near side. Handball was the call against Zane Owen, and unfortunately for the Quakers Hill Jr., who spent a lot of his fledgling years at Blacktown Spartans, so this is a pitch he's real familiar with playing on, was unable to avoid the referee's watchful eye there. Referee Daniel Jewett, Jelko Hornyak on one side, and as I mentioned, 17-year-old Brendan O'Shea down below us. So Jaden Zwerb, inside of his own half, will look to lump this one forward. The captain of Blacktown as well, for a four-time All-Star appearance maker. Gabriel was decisive indeed, but it's gone right up on the edge of the box. Was he out of his box, was the question being asked, but no, it won't matter. Pressure alleviated because there was a foul on him in the process. Well, that was very decisive indeed. So interesting to see what he will achieve this year. Look at the technique as he lumps that ball a long way dead. Well, that'll be certainly beneficial if Quakers look to play long at some points this year. That was Sarari trying to combine there with Agar Maran, who spent the best part of 2 and a bit years at SD Raiders, as well as a bit of a sabbatical. Took a year off football. Someone who made headlines as a very young teenager for being part of a prominent group of South Sudanese footballers in this area, as well across to the Penrith area as well, who were making major strides as a popular sport within the diaspora. Featured in one of those posts as I believe it's a 14-year-old juggling a ball on the sidelines. So funny that more than 10 years later, Agar Mawan's still around. As Quakers delivered this ball in, it was looking for the man on debut, Jai Kendall. Not to be in that scenario, unfortunately. Former BDSFA AYL representative. Made 3 appearances last year. 2 of them were against Tigers. His debut was against Tigers off the bench on 31 May. This is his first start, his first match of the round appearance, and it all happens to happen on one day. Jeez, he must have been nervous coming into this one, especially since we were trying to compete with the Lightning to get this game to go forward. Thank goodness we were able to do that. Todd Milgate, you can see the composure he's got from his years of playing at a very high level indeed out at Hawkesbury. Lovely looking ball towards Zane Owen, who might fall to Aiden Hughes on the volley. Tries to get it under control well. Thierry Henry it in the air, and then Zane Owen, 4 goals last year. 2 of them were against his arch rivals, Quakers Hill Tigers. Could he do it today against another set of rivals in Doonside? Ball in behind. Is he quick? He's not that quick. He's not road runner quick. And this will be kind for Matty Gabriel. Of course, one of the major headlines for Quakers Hill Juniors in the off-season was the change of their coach. Julian Bombard stepping away, and a familiar surname, a new first name. Hey, what was that? Was that ball out of the line? Brendan O'Shea is going to say no. It's probably better to not red card a goalkeeper 5 minutes into the first game of the season, specifically 7 minutes and a half into the first game of the season. As Howard was hacked into quite hard there by Sarawi on the far side, and he goes down in something of a heap. Unfortunately for Liam Howarth, and I'll mention it every single time it happens to him, he's a kid that moves so quickly that sometimes defenders are forced to hit hard. And it doesn't stop him from running at them, though. He's brave. His teammates, tongue-in-cheek, would call him a bit silly, but he will keep running at defenders until they are either sent off or subbed off. That is the Liam Howarth way, and that is why he is... Oh my word! Strong tackle in. A yellow card distributed immediately. It was Howarth who was snapped within seconds of the ball being put back into play. Holy smoke. Well, I look at this on replay now. I've got a bit of a delay that I'm dealing with. Forgive me. It's played short, bounced back to him, and the sliding in challenge by Gatsby Gray has set the tone for the match. That's what it's going to take to get a yellow card, and the first one of the season for Gatsby Gray is upon him as Matty Gabriel comes again and punches it away. Look at the distance he got on that. And now Zane Owen will try and use that big body and that good hold-up play to find Aiden Hughes. Out comes Dudgeon. Algarve one on his debut. Was there a hand? The referee says no. Quakers juniors go mental as Doonside try and keep their finger on the pulse of this game. 2 moments of madness on 2 different ends of the spectrum. One massive tackle leading to a yellow, and then another one where potentially Doonside could have been found in a pickle, but Dudgeon was decisive and he kept his hands to his side. And on we go. The appeals now feel like a foregone conclusion. Not going to be given there by Daniel Druitt. It wasn't given when Matty Gabriel came out of his box, potentially handled the ball outside of the 18-yard marking area. And it's not going to be given there when he clearly had Dudgeon, clearly had his hands by his side. He taps younger Zane Owen on the back there. Wow, what a couple of moments that was. Well, Dudgeon got down on one knee in the off-season and proposed to his longtime partner Tamara, but that time he kept his hands to himself as Zane Owen. That ball came way past him, over hit. But yes, Dudgeon that time was able to not put out his hands and offer a kind gesture. Instead, he kept them by his side, and as a result, he's not sent off 10 minutes into a match of the round in round 1 of 2026. Whose ball will that be? It's going to be Doonside's as Sarari tries to take it nice and quickly. Doesn't happen for him. That ball will be going the way of the maroon-coloured Dooney boys running left to right across your screen. Quakers Hill Juniors running from right to left. So far, Matt Pelazon's men, which is what I was trying to get to before I was so rudely interrupted by a pretty key moment in the match. Matt Pelazon's men have matched it with the Dooney boys. Look at the strong work here by Al Gassim Mundu. Picked up there by Vlismas. Zane Owen dinks it in. Algarve touch the score. He has to score. Somehow Laksamana gets across. Jaden Zwerb makes sure that Doonside don't concede a corner, but Quakers Hill Juniors are getting closer and closer to breaking through Matt Dudgeon's goal. On the far side, Liam Howarth has gone down and he looks worse for weather. His night might be over as Doonside on the touchline scramble to get some players warm. But he's in a world of hurt as Doonside almost found themselves conceding two major chances. Wow. Well, they're causing all their own problems right now, struggling to play it out the back, and I'm wondering if the very intense, as we've lost some balloons, ladies and gentlemen, we've lost some balloons, away they go. I wonder if the very intense final week of training leading up to the season has caused some problems. They trained on Tuesday night, they played against Prospect in a friendly 24 hours later. They were meant to train again on Thursday, but because of the weather, they didn't. Are they feeling a bit of the early season blues? Well, Quakers Juniors got the better of them last year. What's going to happen from this long throw-in? Zane Owen's been involved in everything good going forward as Laksamana wins it out of the sky. Couchy, pass 1, pass 2. So brilliant, down by the diminutive midfielder. And the number 12 sends it in behind for Grandemage, who's quicker than most in the comp. Is he quicker than Blitzmas? The answer is yes. Grandemage got a long way to go before he gets to goal. Can he try and find someone in the box who's already there, perhaps? Onto his left, now into the box. Trying to keep his footing. He slips. And around there, threatening was Diego Canova and Marcus Correa, I do believe. In the end, Grandamange, his pass cut out and cleared. Wow. End-to-end stuff so far. Don't switch over to the Matildas coverage just yet. Ah, big body-to-body there. And against Correa, it's been deemed as a whistle-blowing offence. So be it. Leave comments on the YouTube. Leave comments on the Facebook. Send me a text. I'll be keeping an eye on my phone. Let me know what you think of the match of the round. Wow, Melbourne victory. 4-1 over Central Coast Mariners. That's big. As has Matt Dudgeon and Jaden Zora been in the last 5 minutes of this game too. Only been 13 and a half minutes into this one. Gatsby Gray, that's a bounce a bit awkwardly over his head. Jaden Zora up into the sky. That's young Jai Kendall on debut, winning it out of the sky. He'll pick it back up here again as in came Canova. And he's done well to number 11 to send it in behind. Icon cuts back behind the man on debut. Icon will look to swing it towards the back post. Grandamange swung a left foot and missed. Well, we know he can take two-footed corners, but a two-footed attempt at a volley, perhaps something a little bit too far-fetched even for one of the greats of the comp. My word. That was a really, really good ball. Right-footed Ethan Icon trying to find right-footed Byron Grandamange. It was a left-footed ball in by Icon and a strike via the left peg of Grandamange. It would have been one of the greatest five-star weak foot combinations you'll ever see, but not to be. Gatsby Gray wins it. Picked up here by Paolo Laxamana, who crosses the halfway line. He tries to square past one. Instead, he plays it out wide now. It's back to Big Byron. And what can Grandamange do? He turns facilitated this time. It's cleared away there by Millgate. This defence at Quakers has looked pretty strong so far, even though some questions were asked about the three-back against Doonside. Are you guys serious? And they said yes, and they're doing well so far. This is Zane Owen sending it in behind. Swerve has won it out of the sky. Twisting, turning. This is so good by Correa, a man who's played internationally his level of football. Grandamange goes for the poke with the outside of his right. Surprised he didn't go with his left there. Didn't get enough power behind it. Correa in strong, but he missed his man. Couchy was good, but he couldn't get past the second one and cleared away by Mitch Tritton, who is one of the hardest workers in the comp. 22 years old this year, plenty of running left to go in his young legs. This is Aidan Hughes, 19 years at this club, sliding in was Daniel Alessi. Free kick given, not enough like Gatsby Gray to receive a yellow card, but certainly enough to be a first, perhaps, and final warning from Daniel Drew, the referee. 15 and a half minutes into this one. Heaps of fouls coming in. Chances are plenty at either ends. Controversial moments already. This is Blacktown football at its beautiful best. Leave a like on the streams if you haven't already, because it's only going to get better from here. Not just in this game, but as the season rolls on. We head to something of a grudge match next week in the PL2. I'll tell you about which match that is in due course. But right now, let's watch what happens here. Todd Millgate played NPL at Hawkesbury City for a number of years. He's back after nursing a ton of injuries, which has really attempted to decrescendo his last couple of years. Can he ignite it with a good ball? And it is a good ball, and it's cleared away, though. Picked up here by Diego Canova. Agamawan, who had potentially the best chance of the game. He had that ball stolen off him, did he? He did not. Last touch off a green jersey was the call. Paolo Laxamana. Signed on, I've been told by Jaden Zorab, to play as a right back, who's been put under pressure here as Ainoan comes in. Correa in strong. Tritton put a bit of a bump onto him. And Bundu sends this out wide to Liam Howarth, who, by the way, is okay. And off he goes on one of his great runs, but he's given it away. And now there's no Doonside left back. Agamawan puts it to exactly where Liam Howarth should be, but isn't. Clipped ball into the area. Good touch out of the sky. And taken well by Dudgeon. Not enough behind it by Sarari, I do believe, in that number 9 jersey. And Dooney survive another scare. An un-Dooney-like performance right now. And in their quest for the minor premiership, as they said on the podcast, they're not looking like they're going to be on their way. Although, can they find something here? If Lismas clears it away, Dooney needs to lock up very, very tight, very, very quickly. One on the halfway line by Howarth. Now he runs diagonal. Tritton coming across. Slipping and sliding. Tritton was the one who went down worse for wear. One back by Gatsby Gray and sent out wide. Sarari got his touch wrong on this old BFP pitch. Wow. Isn't this brilliant? Howarth, long throw. Icon up high. Rismas won it. Icon gets the second ball of the carry. It's the greatest opening round goal you will ever see by a man who makes this pitch his pitch every single time. What a way to rock your old club, Ethan Icon, who has just scored from some 30 yards to open his accounts this season. And when the chips were down and the Dooney collective back was against the wall, you pass it to this guy and he will score from anywhere. 1-0 Doonside, and it couldn't be more fantastic than what Ethan Icon has just produced on the live stream. My word. And somehow, little celebrations, we're already back into the game. Don't take your eye off this one for a second because there's no time to even breathe. Well won there by Jai Kendall. What a goal by Ethan Icon. I should say, it's not unbelievable at this point. This is what the kid does. Foul against Dooney there. Oh my word. Oh my word, Ethan Icon on replay. That is gorgeous. Holy smoke. We have been blessed with something magical tonight. No one will get credited with the assist. Perhaps Gatsby Gray can change that. Someone's fallen on the edge of the box. It was Tritton. And now Icon again. Matty Gabriel's coming all the way out of his goal. He's nearly come to the halfway line, and Quakers Manuel Neuer clears it away. It's been won by Bundu in the air. And then Zane Owen. What can they do in response? Doonside didn't score in this fixture 12 months ago. They were kept to a shutout by Julian Borbach's men at the time. Oh, lovely searching ball in behind, and well dealt with there by Bundu on what is the match where he needs to lay down a marker to remain as the starting centre-back. As Zane Owen comes in and caught Dudgeon slipping and sliding. He himself looked like he was going to struggle to get across, but that was also because Zane Owen's strike was going beyond the parameters of the goal. I cannot get over that Ethan Icon goal. We are just blessed to be in his presence. How do you hit a ball like that? Please teach me. Please. A masterclass in technique. And there will always be that little part of me, I'll let you in on a little personal opinion of mine, there will always be that part of me that wonders what this kid could have done with semi-professional NPL level, representative level coaching. He's dynamite. And he brings a level of, I know what I can do, that coaches at that level don't necessarily love, but gee, they could benefit from it sometimes. And gee, Glenn Zlerb's Doonside have tonight. 20 and a half minutes into this one, Doonside have got their finger on the pulse of this game through the sheer brilliance of their number 9. Their number 9. Long throw and taken by Laksamana, but straight to a green jersey. Paolo back on it. This is Paolo Laksamana, puts it onto his left boot, gets it a bit too shallow. Oh, what a touch by Gatsby Gray. Oh, and then a lovely little bit between his legs there by a man who won a grand final on this pitch 4 years ago, back in 2022. Aiden Hughes just too quick. Is Jaden Zwerb? That he is. Zwerb in the 46 jersey here today. Sticking out the right boot and doing the right amount of damage. Millgate sends it long and across the pitch. Won there by Byron Grandemange. "22 minutes into this one, 1-0 to today's home side, Doonside, as Agar Mawan lets out a cry of frustration as he slips and loses the ball. Not the first person to do that today. I'm sure he will not be the last. It's not getting any wetter right now, but it's not getting much drier either because of the time of day it is. Big thank you to Workers goalkeeper Connor Gilbert. There is another fixture to talk about today, which we will imminently. It involves Ponds and Riverston Schofields. Oh, lovely work there by Canova. This is Paolo Laxamana, who's also on his Doonside debut. That was blocked off and headed towards goal as Gabriel reaches high out of the sky and claims a simple one. And this is what he can do out of the hands. Look at the distance he gets behind this. Owen is there. Will it bounce kindly? Oh, just past his forehead. Agard Mawan trying to close down Zverev. Not many people can do that successfully as Canova slows things down. A kid who's come through Doonside's youth ranks and played the predominant amount of his football at youth level, at the 21s level. He's been told, I would guess he's been told he needs to be a more dominant first grade player, so here's a chance to do it, and he's been perfectly fine so far. Couchy. Simple foul. Always going to be given there by the referee. A 6'2" man against a 5'7" man. Push him in the back. That's what's going to happen, and it slows down Junior's momentum enough, but they do get something of a set piece, and perhaps this will be dangerous if Dudgeon can launch it onto the right spot. Dudgeon, a two-time grand final winner now at this point. Beautiful backspin technique towards Byron Grandemanger, who wins it in the air but hits the deck really hard. Sarari, was he kicked in the back there by Grandemanger? Not going to matter because Sarari's gone on. Sends it in behind, and Algasim Bundu does well to deal with this, and he perfectly weights it back to his goalkeeper. No press from Zane Owen or Aidan Hughes, and he's able to find Laxamana with no real duress. Missing Ryan Dominici today. I do believe it was his appendix he had removed, so he's missing this first round, I've been told. A lovely touch, or lack thereof, perhaps, of Couchy, who then spreads it out wide beautifully. Hit hard there by Conor, who's now out of position, no. And the back three has a bit of a hole down the right-hand side. This is Byron Grandemanger in a really wide position for his liking, certainly a striker's liking. He tries to find a ball inside. It's just about been recycled. Get it in, Liam Howarth is the call. He does towards the front post, easy claim there by the safe hands of Gabriel. And away he goes, Matty Gabriel. Strong header one there by Bundu, who I swear has grown in the last 6 months since I last saw him come off the bench towards the latter part of last season. A signing I've been assured will be one who's here to challenge Blake Stewart when he returns from his ACL tear, a man who signed on from Prospect's NPL side, not the local side, the NPL side. We'll get him on a podcast imminently. Correa bouncing there with Byron Grandemanger in behind. That's the best ball I've seen all day! And I can spurn the sitter, but thankfully, no, a penalty's been given. A penalty has been given by Daniel Druitt. Yep, it's on Gabriel, who took out Ethan Eichen as he shot. You cannot go through a player like that. I'm assuming Daniel Druitt is saying, let's have a look at this on replay. Correa beautifully bouncing there with Grandemanger. This left-footed pass by Correa is something superlative, I tell you that. Gabriel doesn't win the ball, and his feet tickle through Eichen. And as a result, Dooney have a penalty. That's a big decision. 5 minutes short of the half-an-hour mark. Eichen is about to take this penalty, it looks like. He's going to have to collect it by jumping over the fence twice. And Quakers, for all their hard work and for all the good chances they made, it looks like John O'Pellazon's side is about to be down 2-0. Byron Grandemanger, very competent penalty taker, but Eichen won it. And this is his former club. And he has already scored a goal today. And he put his body on the line to win this penalty. He's up against Matty Gabriel, who, as I mentioned, he won a penalty shootout for Quakers Hill Juniors back during their dominant double era, 2018 to be exact. Can he do it against Eichen? It's Eichen who belts it down the middle, backed himself to do exactly that, and he pierces the back of the net with world-class power. Gabriel picked his spot, got there quickly, but the nerve of Eichen to punch it down the middle with force is enough for him to have an early brace and for Quakers Juniors to be wondering, what do we need to do differently to keep them out? Because I tell you what, they have been good enough today to match them in certain parts, but it's the moments of quality from Byron, from Eichen, and then from Marcus Correa. That pass to find and lead to this penalty cannot go unnoticed. And you know what? I might just jot that down as a Marcus Correa assist. And who is going to tell me otherwise? half a chance. He was cut back inside, and it was the man on debut. It was Jai Kendall, who tried to swing his whole right peg at it. There's a lot of oomph behind that one. And it was taken off and whisked away from him at the last moment. This could be kind for Byron. In the end, Connor May was braver. Tritton getting into a bit of a miscommunication there with Gatsby Gray, and they eventually lose the ball. Daniel Alessi thought about a pot shot. Instead goes for the pass with Ikens on a hat-trick. And for once, Ethan Ikens touches something that doesn't turn to gold. Mawan brings wider teammates into this one. On the cusp of the 1/3 mark of the game, it is Doonside 2 to the good. It's very, 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 very rare that they lose a lead once they have it. In fact, you might remember those old conversations as Bundu wins this one. Those old conversations towards the back end of last year. We're not sure exactly how many days it's been, but it's at least been 4 years since Doonside had the lead and lost a football match. 4 years. 4 years. That dates back to their 2022 Grand Final winning campaign, their first since opting to take a relegation after the mass exodus of the old crop of Dooney players who won the Champion of Champions back in 2018. 4 years since they had the lead and then lost it. For them to have Quakers overturn that today, Quakers Juniors that is, they're going to have to score 3 goals against a Dooney outfit. We very rarely concede any, unless you're Mario. Nice touch off the chest there. But 2 maroon jerseys around to cause far too much havoc to do any more than just get the ball away. Could be a switch on here. This is it. This is it for 3. It's Canova, who never has scored in a match of the round before. The ball has taken him a little wide from goal up against Kendall on debut. Cuts it back towards Laksamana, who's also on debut himself. Laksamana being hounded by Tritton and as well Kendall. He's got past 1 then 2, and the right wing come right back today has done so well. He goes down in the box. My word, I thought for a moment it was going to be another penalty. He said he was fouled in the box, and he says, sir, even if it's in the corner, you have to give it as a penalty. Certainly looking for it there as he had 2 players around him. Exceptional work by our cameraman to catch the cutback there. Let's have a look at this on replay before they take the goal kick. Now, you can argue that's a foul. I'm just going to say, you can argue that's a foul. But a little bit innocuous, perhaps. A little bit of you're searching for that, Paolo. One in the air by Laksamana, speak of the devil. Alessi cuts back. A couple of years since he returned back from the Parramatta Melita space. Canova trying to play the feed in behind role there as Lismas goes back towards Gabriel, who goes for the Travella clearance. My word, he's brave. Good by Alessi, really good by Daniel Alessi. Being halved on now by Owen is Canova, but Jai Kendall's gone down. He's not locked his ankle there, and that's going to really sting. 1-2, ball played on by Doonside. Agamawan picks up the loose clearance from his teammates. Kendall's still down, could be the end of his night or until that leg stiffens up. Hughes otherwise on his own. Could it fall kindly for him? No, it doesn't. Zwerv's clearance had enough rotations, enough RPM to spin it kindly for his own goalkeeper. Little fake and finds Laksamana. Left field ball, cross field switch of play attempted. Lismats picks it up. Icon is there. Byron Grandemange leaves it, cleared away by Connor May. Can play anywhere, Connor May, literally anywhere, including goalkeeper, I'm sure. Not that I've ever seen him deputised between the sticks. Gatsby Gray, back from, as I'll quote him, a bender in Japan, in Tokyo specifically, actually. Good to have him back. A lovely touch there by Agamawan. But juniors need to finish one of these chances, one of these forays forward with a strike on goal. And test Dudgeon. Well, I won't reveal my sources, but there's some people not happy with the penalty that's been given. Leave it up to you guys in the comment section to debate all night. I don't mind. Go for it. I'd love to see your opinions on everything that happens in this game, including who you think might win the championship this year with a handball there. Yes, absolutely, positively Algassim Bundu, on his starting match of the round debut, gives away a penalty. And I'm not sure why he had his hands so up high, but it's blocked a clear cross into the box. And as a result, Daniel Jewett has to give it. Let's have a look back here on replay. The throw-in is taken. He holds up Owen well. Well, it's clearly his hands are up high to try and show that he's not got his hands on Zane Owen, the player who's in the box. But by doing that, he frees Zane Owen up, who then tries to turn on a dime and put the ball into the box. And in doing that, and on the 32-minute mark of the match, he gives away a penalty. And that has just opened an avenue for this game to creep right back in contention for those in green. It's been a day of defying things, that's for sure. Ethan Eichen defied physics, and then Marcus Correa defied Newton's second law, if I do remember my science correctly, with the way that ball bounced into the path of Eichen to lead to the penalty. Can we now perhaps see Quakers Juniors mount something of a comeback against a team who very rarely let the lead slip? It is Zane Owen, a man who loves a goal against Quakers Juniors derby rivals. It's a man who bleeds green. Can he nestle one past Dudgeon? He can. He matches Eichen and goes right down the middle. Nerves of steel. And it is 2-1. There have been 3 goals scored within 34 minutes of this incredible game so far. Don't go anywhere. Split your screen come 8 o'clock, because this is going to be a game that's going to take all 90 minutes to decide who walks away with the points or if they're split down the middle evenly. 2-1 it is. Doonside can see their first. Quakers Juniors score their first, and we know that juniors like to mount something of a challenge in this game. Half a chance here for Aiden Hughes. Swearabin just too strong there. Bundu gets it away. Canova making a run as that right mid slot he's sitting in. Alessi, 1-2. Nicely done. Good luck, Samana. Strong by Alessi against Tritton. Laksamana asking for a foul. Doonside are just doing their best to slow things down right now, with Quakers not amounting anything of a press. Laksamana will be the one who makes a diagonal run from fullback. He overcooks that pass in behind. A left-footed right back. Geez, Matty Gabriel gets some height on those clearances, doesn't he? And oh, Liam Howard has been beaten there. He's misjudged that one to take down his man there. Foul against Liam Howard by Sarawi. Ulam Sarawi and fellow wearers of green not happy with that one, including a boo that rang around the place. That's not very nice. For those of you who might be wondering, I'll give you a little bit of insight into what's happening as the Matildas warm up for their match, because I'm just as interested as I am in that match as I am in this. Ooh, contest for this throw, and it's going to be given Junior's way, and a huge round of applause comes in. It was even bigger than the goal celebration. Curve forward and Fowler starts as you'd expect. Cooney Cross, Kennedy and Katrina Gorry. Caitlin Torpy will change her spot at left back as she should. Catley and Heatley as the centre backs is a change, a big change indeed, and Carpenter at right back, of course. As Canovo on the edge of the box, he tries to enter it now, which he does onto his right foot. He puts it across the face of goal, and Brandon Mange couldn't slide in at the 11th hour as the ball crossed the dead ball line to go out for a goal kick. Big chance there. Of course, Naka Arnold in goal, which means that Claire Hunt is dropped for the final. That's big. That's really big. Claire Wheeler too, if my memory serves me correctly. Sent away by Matty Gabriel. Agamawan up against Bundu. Well shielded there by Algasim Bundu, and he wins a throw-in as well. And that's a really good way to regain all your confidence after giving away a penalty, unfortunately. Cleared away. Doonside probably looking to get to half-time with their one-goal lead intact. They certainly don't want him to get returned to parity. Sent long. Good touch there by Hughes. There was a runner in Jai Kendall in behind that was so good, but he didn't have eyes in the back of his head, forgive him. Millgate, what a pass, at least in theory. Cut out well by Howard. Down goes Owen, and listen to how loud and boisterous this Quakers Hill Juniors crowd are, and that's bringing them into the game, you know. That's what we like to see and hear. You can hear Glenn Zwerb. He's really not happy on the edge of his Doonside technical area. So I can confirm, by the way, that Pons and Riverston Schofield's tying 1-1. I do believe that Tong Morale was on the end of a goal, but so was Jackson Laurie on his return to beat his way after missing the back part of last season via a long-term injury. Great to have him back in the squad, and Rivo looking strong. Pons perhaps slipping up early. Every game in a 16-round title chase is important. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise that it's not. That's the first slip up by Pons. So, it'll be delivered in on 39 minutes by Todd Millgate, whose delivery's been really good so far. Flicked on there by Gatsby Gray, always going over. Very still night here at Blacktown Football Park. No wind, which is a stark contrast to what we had several hours ago. No rain as well, but it's still wet. Decent little crowd here forming on Ryan Dimmick Memorial Cup Day, as well as some scouts from other neighbouring teams too, of course. Great to have you guys here as well. Thanks so much for joining me here. Mark DePoli here for year number 6 of the BDSFA. Strongly won there by Sarari. Gulam trying to get past the referee, and he does so. Sarari's been good today. I've really enjoyed watching him play. Missed by Bundu, recovered there by Zwerb, his captain, who's alleviated a little mistake there. A lovely work there by Correa. He is one who has eyes in the back of his head. Alessi showing that exact same technique that wins him so many fouls, so many times. And Zwerb looks to play it quickly because there's runners in behind. It's Nick Couchy. This is the Dooney way. They want to hit you hard and quickly on the counter, and he gets that all wrong. Oh, man. That was not pretty by Couchy. Bouncing past Couchy. Unless he got something on it, Laksamana clears it away. And it's a foot race. And Matty Gabriel's coming for it again because it bounces kindly in his box. 41 minutes played. And away he clears. Laksamana. One there by Gatsby Gray. He's coming here to the near side for the first time in a while. They only play to be on the yellow card. Oh, Swear, he's been beaten by Hughes. He's been good so far, Hughes. He loses the shin pad and thinks a perfect ball to Adamu1, who gets it wrong. Oh, Hughes, brilliant work in the build-up play. He's been exceptional tonight, young Aiden Hughes. And Mawan has a second chance that, unfortunately, you have to say, is spurned. Correa. Oh, he's been nutmegged there too. This time by Gulam Sarari. Connor May, did he keep that one in? No, he didn't. Dooney will get the ball. 42 minutes played. This is going to have some fire and some bite in it in the second half, isn't it? I can't wait. Zwerb, of course, he wins that. Paulo Laksamana worked under Glenn Zwerb, previously under Peter Sekenis at Marconi. Some esteemed names, you know. Esteemed football pedigree. Howarth, he can deliver one. Ikens there. This will be a tempting attempt at goal. That it was. Feint he tempted. The hands he tested. And over it was pushed by Matty Gabriel. On the cusp of half-time now, 44 odd minutes played. An in-swinging corner. We know what Dooney can do from that end when they deliver corners in towards the front post. Oh, that's exactly what can happen. They can win them and flick them on and cause all kinds of havoc. But in this scenario, not to be. Flashed just wide, but there was a green touch. This will be delivered in swinging on the other side by the left-footed Paulo Laksamana. No Byron to take them because he's preferred in the box. Perhaps he's overhit that one, Paulo. Bit of testing debut at times for 25-year-old Paulo Laksamana. A fantastic footballer. Has pedigree coming out of his ears, if you like. Just settling into the Dooney way and not easy to play right back, replacing a legend like Geordie Hannon. Doing so as a left footer too. I wonder if we'll get a chance further forward, maybe perhaps if injuries occur in the front line. Strongly won there by Augustin Bundu. Correa gets there first because he always finds a way to do so. Vlismas opts to clear that one away. Didn't trust his goalkeeper was getting there before Byron Grandemange. And we are now into the added on time, of which 3 goal celebrations, a couple of... Oh, okay, apparently not. We're not going to need any added on time. Maybe a couple of seconds or so. Daniel Drewer calls an end to an enthralling first half that sees Ethan Eichen walk off with 2 goals and Zane Owen's penalty that was perfectly put down the middle, bringing the game back into contention. Don't go anywhere. More content to come and some special guests coming into the box after half-time. My name is Mark DePoli. Don't forget to leave a like on the stream if you haven't already. Don't turn the sound off. And if you are switching off to the Matildas, enjoy the evening. Good luck to them. But if you can leave a spare screen on to support the local comp, please do that too. But, of course, prioritise our girls. See you later. See you soon. Welcome back to you all, to those who have decided to thug it out and stay for the rest of this match. Thank you for being here. The second half in the Ryan Dimmick Memorial Cup, moments away from kicking off, and Ethan Icon Brace got duty off on the right foot before Zane Owen's converted penalty brought it back within one. My name is Mark DePoli. Thanks so much for being here. It's concerning how out of breath I am, considering I just walked up 8 stairs. And let's get into this second half. All to play for, just 1 goal separates them. And Dooney on their quest for a first minor premiership in more than 8 years. Getting off so far at least on the right foot. Rest assured, Doonside fans, they never peak the Hawks in round 1. Never ever. Their best match is always the last of the season. This outfit of Quakers Hill Juniors under Matt Peloton has been impressive. They've created good chances. They've been defensively solid, and they've been burst open by 2 moments. On contrasting ends of the spectrum. One a moment of brilliance, the other one a penalty for you all to debate long into the evening. Second half underway. Officially we go. Correa sends this one wide. Jai Kendall was the one who was tracking it. In the end, it was won by Todd Milgate, who's been superb tonight on his return. Alessi. And it's Doonside, a Dominici-less Doonside who's starting the right foot, and Byron Grandemain. Shaw stinging the palms, and then the right boot of Matty Gabriel. And then Matty Gabriel sends it away, immediately trying to pump it long towards Aidan Hughes, who he himself has had a really good game, especially when doing the back-to-goal stuff. Although with his back-to-goal, he's been able to win a throw-in. Great to be able to see Ghulam Sarari underneath our eyes this half. The number 9 occupying the right mid / right back spot, if you want to call it, right wing back. A bit more advanced, I'd say, than Jai Kendall. Offside, Aidan Hughes might have been had that ball come to him, but it never did in the first place. Mitch Tritton sends that one out wide. Doonside try and get it back as quickly as they can, that they do. Oh, Couch, beautiful, as per. Kept alive, 1-2. Howarth into the box, touch took him a little wide from where he wanted to be, past the keeper. At the back stick was Icon, who swung and pirouetted in frustration as he miskicked it. He's so upset with himself. Out of the sky, Aidan Hughes from the clearance. Agama 1 wins that back. Oh, that's the wrong decision there. The headlines flashed. The back page, the front page. Oh, bounced there. Even. Paolo Laksamana using his core strength to the best of his ability there. Couchy, sending Tritton back to the shops with that twist and turn there. Howarth, good use of the pace. He ran square across 2 men there. And Couchy trying to get Doonside past the halfway line, testing Paolo Laksamana's touch. He's about to be battered and bruised by the man he just put to the floor just a second ago, and Zane Owen was too slow to it, unfortunately. Laksamana floating like a butterfly. Gosh, Mark, it's late. Forgive me. It's late in the night, early in the season. Bundu gives it away. Tritton. Icon was the one back defending as the pot shot comes in, and Dudgeon is tested. He has to tip it over his bar corner, and it'll be for Quakers Juniors. Better by Quakers. In by Milgate. He's winning the end of all the dead balls towards the back stick. Arriving late! Not given because the ball went dead as it was in flight. It's not offside. It is not offside as the protests come in from those wearing green. The ball went out. It did not stay in from Milgate's corner. That's why it landed so perfectly at the back stick. because it took an illegal route. Icon flicking it on. Grandemain just quick, but just about matching his pace was Millgate. Well, 3 ACL tears between the pair of them, and they're both showing flashes of pacey pace. Connor May. Vlismas. Special guest about to join us up here in the box for the first time in a long time, and something I've been trying to do for a long time. We're going to have Josh Boyd enter the fold. Mr. Josh Boyd, our competitions manager. Welcome finally to the Laing Simmons Blacktown Men's Premier League 1 Match of the Round live stream.
Thanks, Mark. It's much better view up here from down there. I've never really watched a game from up here, so I'm looking forward to see you in action for a little bit and seeing how we go.
Isn't it good? It's like your own personal VO from up here. What have you made of Doonside and particularly Ethan Icon's beautiful brace?
I think Ethan we've talked about this lots of times, he just capitalises on every mistake. You just can't switch off against him. As you said in the podcast this week, he unfortunately disappears off to Europe for a good chunk of the season, but he's damaging every time he's here.
We know so prominently, well, I should say, we know how prominent the likes of Jordan Hannon and Jake Taylor were for this Doonside Championship winning squad. 6 grand finals, 3 each in the 4 years that we've had big major grand finals since COVID. What's going on here?
Looks just like some subs in the wrong spot.
They've gone a bit wayward, haven't they?
Yeah.
They're not meant to be standing over there. They're going to have to go the long way around the perimeter of the pitch. But, yeah, so Jake Taylor absent because of a transfer, and of course Geordie Hannon a transfer out as well. Algas Mbundu has come in today. He gave away the penalty, unfortunately. Paulo Laxamano is a different type of fullback, wing-back if you like, almost. What have you made of them?
Obviously, it's very hard to replace both Jake and Jordan, who we wish both well with their recoveries from injuries. But Paulo's been impressive down the right. He hasn't been very busy down that side yet tonight. A lot more has come down the other side for him.
I'm going to interrupt you here, Josh, because Byron Grandemain is about to run in behind. Yellow card will be given out here. Yeah, you haven't seen a lot of them. That's correct.
Yeah, no choice there for the ref. I'm frankly busy running around a little bit today. I haven't got a chance to see much of the centre-back. Obviously, the penalty decision went against him, but little choice for the referee there, but that's just how it goes sometimes as a fullback.
Let's switch over to green. Matt Pellison's debut as coach, a much lauded, much loved surname among the Quakers Hill Junior area, the Quakers Park hallowed turf. You know, you've been in this Blacktown Premier League a lot longer than some of these players out here have, as Doonside delivered this ball in through Howard towards the back stick. And again, Gabriel punches away really confidently, and it's been kept in, which is good for Quakers Hill Juniors fans, and cleared away only as far as Laxamana again, who we know can deliver on a dime towards the back stick, cleared away. Grandemain trying to keep it alive from about the spot where he scored in the grand final, and that was a bit too selfish for him, but he does win a corner. But yeah, so this Pellisson name, he's come in. What have you made of the way he set up his team, from at least what you've observed in moments where it's been quiet for you?
I think the big thing, and I had I don't know if I call it the pleasure or the curse of playing against Matt Pellisson for a number of years. And I think you can see he's trying to bring that fight back that, unfortunately, I think they were missing a little bit in the last few years. Just that mongrel attitude, Quakers, that never take the backwards step mentality. And I think that's what I'm really hoping to see out of the Matt Pellisson team this year. They'll work hard for him. As you said, Pellisson's a big name around Quakers Park, and Matt really embodies what that was about for a long time for them. So hopefully we'll just see that fight and that hunger from them all year.
Hopefully so, and I think we've seen it today in 50-50 challenges from the word go. This match is certainly not over, poised here pretty precariously for Doonside at 2-1, certainly in it. Oh my God, Byron Grandemain has gone for the Olympico.
I'm not sure if that's straight in or if it's off someone else.
Well, Doonside are claiming their third goal. It might have gone in via an own goal, but again, it's Byron Grandemain's expert on a dime corners that so often cause trouble for keepers, and it goes over the top of unassuming defenders. And as we watch it come through on replay, Josh, I'll get you to keep an eye on it. We're going to credit it, at least for the time being, to Grandemain.
Yeah, I reckon it's in off Byron. I think that's in off the line. I think he'll tally that one for himself this year.
Well, we'll see what the referee does, but a Grandemain
Marcus Correa's not claiming it at all. He's given it to Byron.
Well, there we go. So 1 for Grandemain. So scores on the same end. Rory picked up that grand final goal and he scores his, I believe that to be, if I haven't looked at my notes yet, but I think that's his 4th Olympico in the last season and a half. As a pot shot comes in straight away and Zane Owen got the technique right and Dudgeon was forced to cover it at least with that save. But yeah, I mean, the game is kind of taken out of contention now. I know that juniors have half the deficit already in this game via a penalty, but that might just do it now at 3-1, unfortunately, for neutral viewers. But what needs to be the goal for Quakers Hill Juniors then? I mean, you've faced up against them as a Park League representative, as you've just mentioned, and we know how historic Quakers Hill Juniors are. What needs to be the goal for them in your humble opinion?
I think looking at a lot of the boys out there, they've got a young squad. You've got, I'm pretty sure he's still 21's eligible over on the far side. You've got a lot of, I guess they're returning faces to Quakers. But I think the goal just needs to be returning what Quakers were about for such a long time, just that fight. They'll get results with that fight being there. Jules did a great job tactically with them for a long time, and I think just that, bringing in the old Quakers fight, like I keep saying, bringing that back for them will send them a long way in this comp.
To those listening right now who have had games washed out, perhaps their spirits a little dampened, any words of encouragement for those who are looking to get their season up and running?
I think obviously they'll all get their chance to get on the park next weekend for round 2 of the Premier League, and they'll get to make up those games. Also next weekend, all the youth Division 1s kick off, so we're really looking forward to that. It's obviously a big moment for a lot of the clubs, a lot of hard work to get them to this point in the year. But the boys will all get out there next week. The Women's Premier League starting up next Sunday, so plenty to look forward to over the next few weeks and some midweek games to come.
Josh, you're the person who has his finger on the pulse of every single league in the BDSFA. 10,000 plus playing members each of the last 4 years. Any tips that you're willing to share with hundreds of viewers watching along and chomping at the bit?
Oh, I'm not
Great header, saved by Matt Dudgeon. Forced in, and Quakers Hill Juniors are back in once again. Daniel Drew points towards the halfway line. Quakers Juniors have again cut into a deficit. 3-2 it is.
Maybe it wasn't over like you played.
Happy to be wrong.
Tips for this year? I'm not going to give you my tips for Premier League. I'll keep those to myself. I'm looking forward to a great comp. I think the PL2 first grade especially is going to be really competitive this year. But some of the other age groups like the 18s, 18-1s this year are going to be crazy. Not from halfway there.
Brave.
Ambitious. The 18-1s are going to be a great comp to watch this year. The Women's Premier League just goes from strength to strength. Now they add their Women's 21s in as well, which is going to help strengthen those squads and some new teams into the WPL. So I think there's plenty to come this year and it's just going to get better.
Well, Todd Milgate on his return to Quakers Hill Juniors. And this grand old derby claims a goal. Bundled in from just a couple of yards out as Matt Dudgeon, of all people, spilt it. And we are back within 1 goal. And Dooney just cannot seem to hold their lead without giving it away and urging their rivals back into the game. Zwerable is living very dangerously, but he just about gets it away. Or a handball there by Vlismas. And the lack of a call there really upsetting Doonside. Howard didn't want to put his face in the way of Zane Owen's foot. This is Sawari, who's been good today. He's lost the ball there, though. Grandamange will claim that goal. One there by Connor May. Doonside will get the ball. Still 0-0 between the Matildas and Japan, by the way, which is good. Howard testing Couchy here, but if anybody can do it, it's him. If he gets through this, I'll call him a magician. That he just about is. He wins the free kick. Player like Nick Couchy, your kind of player?
Yeah, he's just so tidy on the ball. He just turns on an absolute dime. Kind of came out of nowhere 2 years ago, filling in for Dominici boys in the middle and just cemented his spot in there.
Hasn't really looked back, has he? A Rivo representative 3 years ago as Grandamange looked to tee that one up as Vlismas tried to get it under control. Eventually, Quakers come away with it and have it in their possession too. Oh, Hughes has been really good tonight, but up against Bundu, he's been exactly right. He's been brutal. Grandemain trying to roll the challenge. It was Tritton and Sarari putting their head in dangerous areas, and Junior with the free kick. Conor gets in the way, lucky not to concede a yellow card there. He's saying the free kick needs to be taken back there as Daniel George just tries to keep a lid on a very fiery game. Again, that doesn't want to, but could boil over. Agama 1 returning to Quakers Hill Juniors after spending 2 years at SD Raiders and 3 years away from Blacktown overall. He's another really good player. Had a couple of chances here tonight, not quite gone his way just yet, but what do you remember about Agar that he could bring to this competition? Well, he's on the ball right now, he's offside.
To be honest, not a lot, Mark. I'll be honest. Those last few years, don't remember a lot about my games, unfortunately, so I can't claim I know a lot about him, which makes it more exciting. So just looking to see what he does. Quakers Hill have always had some good strikers playing through for them. He looks like he's dropped a little bit deeper now, but I'm sure he'll bring a lot for them this year. He's shown plenty of opportunities already. He just needs to get on that ball in the second half.
Al-Gassim Bundu needs to be very careful here as Dudgeon testing Howard's touch. Bit too slippery, bit too slidey, and Doonside have just downshifted a little bit in the last 5 minutes or so as Quakers are working themselves back into some territorial advantages.
This is where Quakers' ability just to stay in a game and just keep fighting will really serve them well, hopefully.
This could be a really good end to the contest. No subs yet, by the way, as we cross into the final third of the 90.
And none really into much of a warm-up either.
No. It's not necessarily a cold night either, so they're not even just moving around for the sake of moving around sake. It was a very complex way of saying what I was trying to say. It was an early start this morning, forgive me. Have to watch the games from here more often, Josh.
Yeah, it feels like at the moment we really haven't had the ball in Quakers half in a little while. So momentum does a world of wonders for teams. So if they can capitalise on this pretty soon, it's going to be pretty hard to stop Quakers if they can get another one.
Zane Owen, the way he drew and then just on the sly was able to mould Jaden Zwerb into a free kick and foul there was very, very good. Very, very good gamesmanship and understanding of how to draw attention.
Zane spent a fair bit of time through here at the Spartans in youth and 20s, so showing all of that experience coming through now.
A chance a couple of yards out from the 18-yard box, struck directly towards goal as Dudgeon palms it away and Conor May couldn't turn in the rebound. Dudgeon's hands have been tested a couple of times. At the back end of last year, he allowed Marion back into the game, unfortunately, with a spilled shot at his near post. That one was a little bit more hard to catch, a lot harder to catch than that attempt 6.5 months ago. But it was a bit of mishandling that has also brought Quakers Hill Juniors back into this game today. And in the slippery when wet conditions, he needs to sharpen up too. A leader out there, Matt Dudgeon.
Just watching the replay, it just feels like he moved very late on it. Whether it was unsided or the ball moved a little bit for him, he just seems to have gone quite late.
Ardama Wine, he turned into danger there and quickly got rid of the ball. Aikens in a foot race now with this smash. You'd imagine the younger man would get there first. Hey, big decision for the ref to make here, if at all. He waves it away and says, "Get up, Ethan," who can't quite believe it. Doonside are completely perplexed as to how they haven't just found themselves at a man-up advantage. A pot shot from distance comes in, Zane Owen over.
We obviously get the benefit of a replay in a second to see that one back.
And we will see it momentarily. Here it comes on our screens. Japan goes 1-0 up against them. Aiken is looking for a bit of contact, but there is contact. But there is no touch on the ball. So they're certainly looking for contact, knowing that Aiken's running to a growingly acute angle at goal. And then, so there's not contact initiated, but there's contact that is expected. This mass does not touch the ball. And nothing is called. A couple of massive moments in the game. You be quiet, Josh.
Like I said, I think we had the benefit of replay there. Coming from the angle, it can be hard to tell whether there was a touch on the ball or who initiated the contact. We don't have the angle they've got down there.
Been impressed by Vlismas otherwise tonight, stepping back into the fold after years away from the Premier League. A lot of these guys coming back up from all age. Alessi. Byron checking away, then checking in, looking to receive. He never got it. This is switched out wide, but just not quite clicking for Doonside in terms of what we're used to seeing them do, free-flowing at their best, of course. Zora will recover this as Agamawan comes across and he sends it into touch. Is that kept in? It's not. At what point are we going to see a change? I wonder at some point, and I mean no disrespect, I wonder if Diego Canovo might be substituted in order to potentially bring on a big body in midfield against a team that have a lot of big bodies, especially in the forward areas in Quakers and Juniors. Canovo playing a deeper role into what he's sort of played during his time as a 21s and reserve grader, where he's got a bit more freedom due to being so much more nimble than everybody else. Another ball in behind. That is a perfect looking ball. Gabriel is coming and he gets there first. That's a wonderful bit of goalkeeping. I can credit to his bravery as well in that moment, who stayed down. He was fairly tackled there, but in doing that, such a big coming together of force, and he's in a world of hurt. Probably can't breathe right now, but Miranda Mange is going to try and keep this alive. Left-footed strike on goal! Always going over, it seems. And now they can put some attention on the man whose 2 goals have really helped out Doonside today. Let's have a look at it now on replay. Great keeping by Gabriel. Iken looked up to see if there was any chance of getting to the ball first and perhaps keeping the opportunity alive, and then realised that he probably couldn't breathe and these ankles were quite sore too. Vandermange's shot never really forcing Gabriel into much of a glimpse as the ball went over the bar. So, 65 minutes played, 25 left to go, and plenty of time for the lead to change hands again.
They're all getting a drink here, getting some instructions.
All whilst Iken stayed down, by the way.
What's the option here if he doesn't pop up, you reckon?
My suggestion would actually be, well, of course my dribble has stopped loading right now. Maury Konate is the one who comes to mind. 37 years old this year is Maury. But again, what might be very much needed in a time like this right now is the ability to hold up and slow down play. Doonside doing a lot of things very, very quickly at the moment.
I think, man, you mentioned a minute ago, and Diego, the ability to just come in that midfield seems to be slowing down a little bit from Doonside, the ability to pop in there and just shore it up a little bit.
Well, Maury, despite warming up, is not actually on the bench on dribble. He's absolutely here at the pitch. I've seen him because he stands out. He's about 6'7", it feels like. He's got such stature. I saw him in the warm-up. He doesn't appear to be on the bench. So the only 2 options I would be able to point to in terms of shoring up the midfield would be Ethan Neves and Zach Salturaga, whose last appearance on this pitch was a grand final winning goal in reserve grade against Workers, who were looking for a 3rd straight grand final win in reserve grade. Iken's still down. He's now being helped to his feet in tandem with 2 officials, including his coach, I do believe, but his night's done. He's in a world of hurt, and hopefully he's okay, not just for the footballing reasons, but the guy works on his feet Monday to Friday. And we wish him all the best in what we hope is just a big coming together, where he's going to be in pain for a day, and then by Monday he'll be...
He's got his full weight on both legs there, so hopefully it's just something, just a bit of a stinger for him. And then being safe early in the season, bringing him off.
He's done a job today, hasn't he? But he's not shy of communicating visually how much pain he's in right now. Luckily, he's somewhat close to the technical area, and he can just take a seat and just reassess. Iken, his brace, will not be converted into a match of the round hat-trick on this occasion. Now, the important thing is, after a near 3-minute break, is who comes out of this passage of pause better out of these 2 teams.
Yeah, Dooney just actually, I commented a few minutes ago, the Quakers were finding that Dooney was starting to push up a little bit further and got 2 or 3 chances in behind. Well, this slowed them back down again. All those balls have gone straight to Iken. Martin's obviously the target up there, so whether this works in Junior's favour or it's as an easy foul.
What was Glenn saying there? I missed that as Miss Tritton makes a quick darting run into the box. Glenn feeling the pinch and not wanting to lose out on claiming bragging rights in the Ryan Dimmick Memorial Cup, if you like, 2 years in a row. It's something Doonside have, I'm sure, gotten a bit used to, keeping in Glendenning reserves, if you like. So, from distance, it's played short, something from the training ground here, and it missed Connor May, or perhaps it bobbled over his foot. So, Paolo Laksamana has come to the left wing position, if you like.
Let's give us a chance to have a good look at him.
Ethan Neves slots into that right back slot. He's super manoeuvrable all around the place. Josh, you're going to have to head off. That is totally okay. Thank you so much for this extended stint up here on the mic, and it's been great to hear your opinions and a couple of your takes on the Premier League comp and also the greater comps as well.
Hopefully if I don't get a chance to jump on the mic, I'll just come up and watch some games with you up here. It's a good view from up here, obviously, as juniors are pushing down this sideline on our side.
Hughes has been really impressive as Connor May harks back to yesteryear with that kind of ball was hitting up that high, and Laksamana receives. And Dooney centre forward, Byron Grenemangers turn to turn into the Ethan Eichen roll. He strikes it now towards goal, and it's blocked. See you later, Josh. Thanks very much. Duly appreciated indeed. A man who you guys might not know all too much, but a guy who is as committed as any individual person to this comp as you will ever come across. Someone who lives and breathes our competition and this sport. Delivered in, cleared away by Zane Owen there on the volley. Alessi tried it, but then realised about halfway through the flight of the ball that he'd misread it. Tried to adjust unsuccessfully. Mawan loses out again, then bumps it to his own teammate. Quakers are able to keep it though. That's much better by Aga Mawan. Couchy in strong too. It's come here towards Gatsby Gray. Oh, lovely fetting ball behind. It's Aidan Hughes with a tame shot, which I'm sure Matt Dudgeon will appreciate. 20 minutes left to go in this one with plenty to add on as well. Dudgeon sends it as far away as he possibly can. Flicked on, there it was. Laksamana was threatening. Correa's now out of position. Alessi picked up here by Couchy. Canovo is there. It's received by Neves off the bench. First man off the bench today. Canovo hustling hard against Gatsby Gray. Has to be careful, the latter was on the yellow card. Play on advantage. Millgate, the most recent goal scorer in the game, gives it away. Laksamana, lovely touch there. Has Connor made a beat? Does Liam Howarth. Back towards Laksamana. Correa, lovely. Oh, lovely triangles here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And now Howarth to restore that two-goal cushion. It's palmed into his own net by Matty Gabriel. An unfortunate moment for a keeper on debut who's been pretty stellar in parts tonight. Again, so slippery when wet out there, it seems. Liam Howarth will claim all the plaudits, but this triangle that was created between himself, Paolo Laksamana, and Marcus Correa was a joy to watch. 4 or 5 passes in tandem that were so crisply and cleanly hit. And as a result, Doonside have that 2-goal cushion restored on a crazy evening of football. A sub has been made. Connor May goes off. Quakers bring on a defender. I believe that to be Mason Elliott. I'll confirm to you in a moment. Here is the man who's just subbed on. Has to compete with Canovo. It is Mason Elliott in the 52 jersey. Sliding in late was Diego Canovo. And he's saying, "Are you serious, sir?" And Daniel Jewett says, "Yes, I am." Long ball sent forward. Hughes is threatening. Bundu shielded him well, and Dudgeon claims it with comfort. Oh, Liam Howarth looking a little ginger at the bottom of your screens, perhaps. He might need replacing soon. Dudgeon sent that long again. Randomangic comes to one goal already today. Laksamana sent him behind. Didn't take him long to find a position further up the pitch. Paolo Laksamana. He's got a long boot on him, Matty Gabriel. Hughes threatening. Zane Owen powering in as Zwerb wins it back. Stood so tall and firm in his 20th year. And Zwerb is going to continue on. Here comes Doonside's own Sergio Ramos, and he gives it away on the halfway line, trying to battle back past Connor May, who I thought for a moment to come off as Howarth goes down. This might finally be the end of Liam Howarth's night. He's been struggling since the first 10 minutes of the game. They're going to continue on. He's still on the pitch as a pot shot comes in! Oh, just over. Howarth's still down on the pitch. Therefore, Quakers could continue. Now Dudgeon's gone down, stretching both hamstrings. What on earth is going on? Well, Howarth, he looked worse for weather in the first 10 minutes, you might remember. He copped a tackle and then copped a second one in quick succession, and I wonder if the adrenaline has fully worn off now. 15 minutes left to go in the game. Across comes Matty Couchy, father of Seb and Nick, who's coaching the reserve grade this year. A change of coach despite winning the grand final. Stepping away, former gaffers. World of hurt on the right boot of Liam Howarth. I imagine about 5 minutes will be added on, you know. Between the Icon injury, this stoppage, this has already been 90 seconds or so. He's testing out how strong it is upon landing. Nope, this is going to be a sub. This is a massive test of Glenn Zwerb and Doonside's strength in numbers. We've asked the squad depth question. Is Paolo Laksamana going to go from right back to left wing to left back? And Howard's day is done. This is a really interesting time. So if you've ever played for Doonside as a defender, apparently you're injury prone. This season, you've got a curse upon you. The only fit remaining member of Doonside's grand final winning back four right now is Jaden Zwerb. And of course, Matt Dudgeon, if you want to throw him in. On comes Joshy, the haircut Atkins. The man in the mullet, you cannot separate the two. And welcome back to the match of the round in the first grade space for another one who, firstly, is another long-standing friend of Ryan Dimmick on a day where we remember our fallen friend, but also a long-time servant. Oh, that's been missed. And Grandemain, he looked like he was defending the ball there. He got the header all wrong as Matty Gabriel came from nowhere and missed it completely. Joshy Atkins comes in, not expecting to play today, but full of running after not playing in the reserve grade after it was cancelled and forced to be postponed. So auxiliary options off the bench, not preferred options off the bench with the greatest respect to Doonside, forced into changes. Can they hold out? And lucky for them, they have this 2-goal lead. Quakers juniors must have their tails up though. Atkins with the mullet straight into action. Correa gives it away. Pirouetting was Mitchy Tritton. He's looking like he's getting close to the end of his battery running out. Picked up here by Ethan Neves. Correa, that sly reverse pass that he loves so much. Forced the giveaway. Bundu not giving away a foul. They're in strongly and smartly. Ethan Neves picks it up with space to burn ahead of him. Approaching the halfway line now for Doonside. On the far side was Canova, who tries to give it back to the marauding fullback. A little trip up there, but on he goes. Pirouetting is Tritton again. Doing well, the 22-year-old, to keep it. Nicely done by Millgate there. It was Lismas, by the way, who made way for Mason Elliott. Big bump there. Keeping the ball, Gatsby Gray, then eventually giving it away. And Cauchi, now he crosses the halfway line. Laksamana still full of running despite the shift at right back for the first 70 minutes of this game. He feeds it in behind for Nick Cauchi, who squirms it past the keeper, only to have the offside flag rob him of another match of the round goal. Cauchi with an exceptional third man run. And on 79.5 minutes, he's unfortunately lost out as Correa nearly sets up Quakers Hill Juniors with a glancing header. Sawari trying to keep it. Had a bit of a quieter second half. He gives that ball away. Out it goes. Doonside's ball. Sawari's only played a handful of matches since returning to the club. He played for Marion for 2 years. Oh, Grandamange is the onside. The flag has stayed down. Byron Grandamange, a little push and a pull by Millgate. He's got a lot of work to do. Byron Grandamange, can he do it all himself? He goes down Millgate. The Byron Grandamange keeps it. He squares it across the face towards Correa. Swept away from him by Mason Elliott. Alessi, he's going to think about this one. Pile driver, a goal. Oh, is it like going over? And it did. 10 to go. Subs a foot. Off goes this time Connor May. 2 defensive substitutions for Quakers Hill Juniors, who might be light on attacking reinforcements early in the season. On comes number 36, Dane Duncan. Right into Zano and midriff there, but the big number 4 has not felt an inch of that pain. Bundu living a little dangerously. Atkins goes back to Dudgeon. The junior boys clear it away. Shown to the action was Dane Duncan. Grandamange is going to hustle to try and keep this one as Gabriel so commonly connects perfectly with that ball. Into out of the sky. Now he's out of position. Owen's got past him. They've spotted a gap. Atkins trying to close him down. Zane Owen on Josh Atkins. Great ball towards the back stick. Slightly overcooked though. Great shape on it had. Gatsby Gray beaten to it. Asked where he would play in the podcast earlier this week, and he said anywhere through the spine, just not centre back please, Matty Pelazon. And the playing midfielder he gets granted with today. And he's been competent. Atkins here at left back. Gives it away. Laksamana says that was the right idea, just the wrong execution. So keep that up. Oh, perfect looking ball in behind, if not for Zwerb to read it perfectly himself, of course. Cutting ball cut out by Millgate, who then gets it cut away from him. Canovo. Oh, this is a really good run by a man who's looking so hard to impress in the absence of Ryan Dominici. Laksamana, pinpoint ball. 360 effort in the air. Grandamange says, thank you for the service. I'm sorry I couldn't deliver. Bundu wins the umpteenth header of the evening. Correa on the halfway line, giving it away as Cauchi came in strong and Tritton tried to side them in half. Cauchi still somehow pressing on, full of running, cleared away. Dane Duncan. Lovely touch by Ethan Neves. There's some stretching happening in the middle of the park. Gulam Sarawi leaving a bit of a gap down the right flank of Quakers Hill Juniors. They're down on numbers right now. Solari is still down, but goes Aiden Hughes all by himself! No! Straight away, says Daniel Druitt, the referee. And down in a cramp, in a panicked cramp, Aiden Hughes has felt that left hammy go, and finally Laksamana has the due diligence to put the ball out and allow the 2 Quakers players right now who are barely able to stand to receive some much needed treatment. This is very, very round 1. Approaching half time in the Matildas versus Japan match. Japan still up 1-0 with 4 minutes left to go of regular time in the first. In fact, 3. It's closer to. Both sides going here, I should say, at Blacktown Football Park to their respective technical areas. It was the Matildas who trained just 100 metres to our right at the Wanderers Football Park over the last couple of days after coming back here from Perth, following a win over China. Fellow Australian gaffer, Ante Milicic. Still, Aidan Hughes is down. Towards the bench goes Ghulam Sawari. That's the end of his night. Referee probably best advised that when in 5 or so minutes from now we cross into the 90th minute, if the result is the way it looks right now, which is a 2-goal buffer, probably wise to just call the end. Otherwise, these boys are going to get injured. It's a pitch where injuries occur commonly, unfortunately. Another change. Lincoln Highmarsh comes on in 55 jersey, a match of the round debut. His first port of call will be to take a throw-in. Eligible for 21s. Lincoln. And they're going to give it straight away back, which receives a round of applause from a grateful junior bunch. Another one's come onto the pitch. It's Mitchell Cooper up top in the 21 jersey. One of those throwbacks to the grand final winning era as Correa sends that one in behind. Well, one there by who I've just realised is Chris Vlismas in the 3 jersey. So I still cannot tell you who came on for Mason Elliott about 20 minutes ago. I have no idea who was subbed off for Quakers in juniors. It was Jai Kendall, forgive me. Now I've just realised too. Subs on the far side sometimes. We go past the eye as well. Lincoln Highmarsh is welcome to Blacktown Football Park's match of the round with a slip around the halfway line. 4 minutes left to go. Oh, Atkins has lost the ball in his hands. A wry smile and a little laugh from all around. Typical of Joshy Atkins. Takes the throw in a little bit more simply that time as Correa was bounced into. And Lincoln Highmarsh is the one who put Correa off his spell there. Got some fans in the crowd, does young Lincoln. Oh, he's lost the ball this time. You give as much as you get. He's done well to retain possession here. Lovely work. Tidy feet. Gatsby putting it into an area where he hopes Aga Mawan will run. Cleared away by Jaden Zwerb. There's Mitchell Cooper up there too and cleared away by Bundu. Cleared away by Zwerb. The player of the match contention name is Jaden Zwerb. Brian Grenaman just no fellow jerseys around him to look for here. There's Logan Gordon on the far side, I do believe. Running square. Brought here to Joshy Atkins. Got that pass well. Did a fatigued Nick Cauchi. Sent away. Strong work by Bundu there. That's much better. Cauchi. That's not very nice at all. For a kick given away by a frustrated Mitch Tritton. Has to be said. 2 minutes left to go in a match that has been good throughout. 6 goals provided. Heart and mouth moments aplenty. Round 1 delivering all the things you expect it to do in a derby like this. Could there be another goal coming here in Maroon? No, not to be. As Quakers look to launch something of a late game comeback. That's a great pass by Zaino, who's been probably Quakers' best player all evening. Agamawan. Well, he's just allowed all of Doonside to come back here and defend, and as a result, all the momentum they had seems to be gone, although they've actually won it back. Nope, because the offside flag has been raised. Well, it was actually offside. Daniel Drew doesn't realise it yet. Either way, it was Doonside's goal kick. Less than 90 seconds left to go in a match where, after the fourth goal for Doonside went in, we kind of knew where this was heading, but gee, Quakers have impressed a few people here today. A fighting spirit, as Josh mentioned a couple of minutes ago, that feels like a return to form for Quakers Hill Juniors. There have been flashes of brilliance among this relatively young team, littered with some more experienced, trophy-hungry talent. One there by Hindmarsh. In fact, this is Hindmarsh here getting in the fold. Alessi. Well, one there by Ethan Neves. Mason Elliott sends it all the way back to the keeper. Moving a little dangerously there. Lismas, who's lasted the whole game. Could be half a chance here. This is really nice by Quakers. Tritton does his own version of a fatigued pass. We're into it on time now. Like I said, there probably would be about 5 minutes. Enough time for Quakers to score a couple of goals, most certainly. Everything here is at the discretion of the referee. Oh, lovely touch there. Yeah, Tritton, his day is done. He's not injured, he's just so tired. Elliott being closed down by a fellow substitute in Logan Gordon. Geez, Doonside have some players with some great buns, don't they? Oh, touch Glennie. Great touch, Glenn. 58 years young. One there by his son on 150 caps today in the senior side. Dane Duncan back to his goalkeeper, Andy Gabriel. Plonks it out wide. Touch inside was delicate and gorgeous to watch, but Laksamana too quick. Could be a fifth goal coming in, just too hot for Grant Mage. Moments of real quality in the second half from Paolo Laksamana. Super athletic from Zwerab here, twice getting involved. Jeez, he just moves so quick. Junior's asking how. They wait on fitness results and injury woes, perhaps. Ethan Eichen, Liam Howarth, and as well from Quakers Juniors, Ghulam Sarawi. Just two players have gone down here. Lots of screaming happening out there. I think someone might have had some sort of shocking injury. Luckily it wasn't to be. It was a villainous scream. Logan Gordon doing lots of good defensive work since coming onto the pitch. Grandamange will shield his man off the ball, and the off-balanced delivery into the box allows Dudgeon to just slow down time here and pick it up. It's going to be 3 points for Doonside. Just need to see out these last couple of minutes. You can hear that the referee there was instructing Dudgeon that he only had about 6 or 7 seconds there to get rid of the ball. It's a new rule coming in this year. Oh, lovely touch by Couchy. Could be one more day of delight. Laksamana goes down, past his man in a flash. Beautifully done. Been all right off the bench, hasn't he, young Hindmarsh? Strong player. Whoa, Correa. Whoa, Marcus. For no reason, with the day one. Something of an outburst, to say the absolute least, towards the referee. And it might have been his ball after it took a slight angle-altering ricochet. Composure shown from Daniel Jordan not to just blare out the red card there, and fortunate for Marcus not to ruin his night in that moment of immaturity, perhaps. He doesn't mind me saying that, but that's how I perceive it. He's smarter than that, is what I'll give him credit for. Just a passionate guy. Oh, half a chance here. In fact, more than half a chance, because Grandamange can deliver a ball like that. Logan Gordon wants a match at the round goal as he slams it in. That was Desiree Douay-esque in the Champions League final not 6 months ago. Smashing it into the bottom right-hand corner under duress. Logan Gordon, all power off the bench. Low-driven perfection for a man who proves that Doonside reserves are very, very good and very reliable when called upon. Glorious finish. Marcus Correa has just been asked to come off for the last couple of moments of the game by his coach. That outburst not appreciated. Subbed off, I think Zach Saltaraga will replace him. Just trying to avoid the hot-headed number 20 from getting an actual suspension out of a game that has returned 5 goals in their favour. What a game. 7 goals in the opening day. Long shot attempted. That brings about some wry jeers from the crowd. And look at the watch by the referee. How much more time will we have? It is 12 minutes to 9 o'clock. Doonside laid down a marker that they are capable of scoring lots of goals. Perhaps that defence needs a little bit more solidifying as the time goes on. But we expected that, and we know that Doonside are better finishers than they are starters. Still we go on. Throw in, Atkins will take it, hopefully not let it slip through his hands. Strong work, Grandimage. Quick work by Laksamana. Good work by Gordon. Sent out wide by Couchy. Brings Neves into play. Gordon, first to touch the ball twice in this passage of play. Grandimage on the edge of the box. Strikes blocked well by Quakers. Cleared Hindmarsh. Whistles to the lips. That will do it. The Ryan Newton Memorial Cup is heading back to Glendenning Reserve. A complete performance, certainly in attack, where they really strutted their stuff throughout the 90 minutes. Ethan Eichens' brace, the very first goal of the day, you might remember some 75 odd minutes ago, was a goal of the season contender already, if not a shoo-in. That would be very, very hard to beat on camera, certainly. He then scored a second from a penalty. Zane Owen then made it 2-1 from his own penalty. That's how we actually headed into half-time. Byron Grandimange's well struck on a dime corner from the far left point of your screen was what brought Doonside their 2-goal cushion returning in their favour before Todd Milgate bundled in one that was slipped through the hands of Matt Dudgeon from just a yard out. A goal on his return as well. Then, of course, there was an own goal that again restored that 2-goal cushion. That was eventually palmed in by Quakers goalkeeper Matty Gabriel, unfortunately for him on a good day otherwise, before Logan Gordon picked up his first match of the round goal just mere moments ago. Wow. What a day it's been. Who would you even name the player of the match after that? It's probably got to be Ethan Eichens, to be perfectly honest with you. The match winner. It feels like good bits and pieces there, I certainly think, from Quakers Hill Juniors. The Matt Pelizon era does not end, or I should say, does not start at all on the wrong foot. I would say that there's lots of good things to take from that, and moments where he can look and say, okay, that was really good. But there are some things we've got to work on, and that's okay too. So next week, we head to what is certain to be a blockbuster. 7 p.m. live from Popendetta Park. Town Rangers FC, who we're here watching tonight, by the way, take on Minchinbury Jets, live from their synthetic. 7 p.m, I'll be there. I'm excited for it. Hope you guys are too. My name is Mark Capoli. Leave a like on the stream if you haven't already. Congratulations to my pick for the man of the match, Ethan Eichen. Hope you're doing okay. Great to have you back here, guys. Year number 6. Let's keep doing it. It is so much fun. And we'll see you in a week's time. Goodbye.